Welcome, Foxies. Today we're going to learn about masculine and feminine energies. We call this a feminine empowerment program. It's really important to understand the differences between these two energies. See, we all, regardless of our sex, carry both masculine and feminine energy. What's important to know here is that we're looking at how these energies affect our day-to-day existence and how our practice, how our fitness, how our wellness program can affect our balance of masculine and feminine energy. Most of us carry a different outward balance of energy versus what our natural balance is. We can do an assessment of what your natural balance is and how you actually live out in the world. And what we found is that most women, as most men as well, are overly masculinated, meaning that they go to work, they live in this corporate environment, political environment, and when you come home, there's really this need to balance back into the feminine energies. See, the feminine is directly linked to the emotional body. The emotions are often likened to water in many traditions. And the emotional element of our existence has been very repressed and very restricted over time. This is the repression of the feminine that I spoke of. And we're at a time now where we're coming back into balance with those energies. And what that requires is us to be in relationship, a healthy relationship with our emotions. And the message that I really want to convey to you is that your emotions are valid. So many of us grew up in families that were told that our emotions were not valid. Daddy might have told us, buck up, toughen up, make daddy proud, quiet down now, you're okay. And all of that is their own uncomfortableness with our emotions and their emotions. And it pains me so much when I see parents shaming their children for how they feel. But as adults, we have the same reactions that are tied to our childhood experiences. So don't let anyone ever tell you, ever shame you that your emotions are not valid, that they're not okay. And this happens a lot in relationships between men and women. The man may not have the emotional intelligence, the woman gets emotive and emotional, and the man gets scared and tries to repress those emotions. But the men, our job is to really get in touch with our own emotional capacity, develop our own emotional intelligence, so that when the feminine rises, we know how to hold space for her. It's the metaphor here. When she is flowing, that we know how to hold space for that emotion to flow through. Because like a wave in the ocean, the wave comes and eventually will crash or will restore back to balance if we just allow it to happen. That's the invitation and the message. Your emotions are absolutely valid. Honor them. Just allow them to come, wash over you, and it will restore back to balance. And we're going to learn a lot of practices that will help balance that. What science has proven is that exercise such as strength training, like CrossFit, even yoga, which was invented by a man to hold these static poses, and even meditation, sitting still with an erect spine, these all actually increase the production of testosterone. As we know, testosterone is the hormone that's associated with the masculine qualities. Meanwhile, the hormone of oxytocin, which is associated with the feminine qualities, is the hormone, it's the feel-good hormone, it's the love, everything is great, I love you, I want to be connected. So what's important is to find those practices that actually increase that feel-good, that increase the release of oxytocin. And one way, believe it or not, is actually shopping. So when I work with women clients, one practice I will give them to increase that release is go have tea or go to happy hour with your girlfriends. Go shopping. Feel that sense of connection, really be together, share stories. That increases that release. Other things would be taking a bath, getting a massage, doing things that are nurturing for yourself. Come home, take that suit off, take off the skirt, whatever that might be, make a bath, light some candles, light some incense, use some aromatherapy. Really, those simple ways can increase that production of that hormone. And ways that you can identify the difference between those energies. We're sitting here in a river. And the river is a perfect metaphor for this balance of the masculine and the feminine. The banks of the river they're the container to hold the flow of the water. So the masculine is holding the container while the feminine flows through. Much like in our life, we have this creative life force that wants to flow through, but we need to have a container, we need to have some structure and some guidance and some goals and objectives to hold that creative energy as it wants to come through. So I always love to think of this. I think of the river often to really feel the difference between those energies. Some other ways we can identify that is the feminine is the nurturing qualities within ourselves, the compassionate, really heart-centered energies, while the masculine really comes from the intellect, it's the consciousness, and is more of the goal-oriented, more of the I'm going here and everyone will follow me. It's that penetrative energy. So those are some tips to think about. How do you carry yourself in the world? And think about what your natural balance is and ways that you can bring yourself daily back in balance after being out in such a masculine-dominated world. See you next time. Namaste.